recording now, so whenever you're comfortable, whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay, so welcome to Morphenomenal, the 30-minute grown-up discussion about every adult's favorite children's program, Power Rangers. I'm Revillion, and with me is my good buddy Jahlani.
What's good?
Join us for laughs, controversial opinions, and no small amount of fantasizing. Come on, it's Morphenomenal. Morphenomenal.
Yeah.
In this episode, we're going to be looking at everything Rita Repulsa. We're going to talk about our favorite monsters, a little bit of a character breakdown. And we'll have a little bit of a think about an arc that Rita has set into position. So sit back and enjoy.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, this is just basically, like we mentioned in last week's episode, we're gonna go through each and every season, and we got that broken down nice and neatly for you guys. And just for this episode, it's gonna be about the first part of season 1.
Yeah.
So I guess, and we'll just get to the good stuff as we.
Well, I was only going to ask before we start
Go
how
for
you
it.
are. 'Cause obviously, it's been an entire week since these guys have.
Ah.
Heard from me anyway. You're quite gobby in various places, so they probably heard from you.
Not much really happens in my life. Oh, I mean, as of right now, I'm probably chilling with my parents. Finally able to leave Florida. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, but Corona still happening. But thanks, shout out to my job. I'm able to be like, hey y'all can't leave, but I can leave. So deuces.
Well, by the time this episode's come out, I will have been in my new flat for nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm probably just be chilling in my old bed.
Right now, I'm sat like surrounded by cardboard boxes. So yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Jay.
What's good?
Tell me about your top 5 Rita Repulsa monsters, because obviously Rita Repulsa is our big evil from the beginning of Power Rangers, like the first evil we see.
Yeah.
She comes out of a dumpster in on the moon, 10,000 years.
Yeah.
After being stuck in it, must smell.
I love Rita.
Yep. Go for it. Tell us what's your number 5 favorite Rita Repulsa monster?
Can I say Goldar?
No lieutenants. So not Golda, not Scorpina. We'll come to them later.
All right. I'll say number 5.
Yep.
Pumpkin Wrapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Good. Why not? Good. Okay. I'm going to be frank. I haven't. Jason. I'm going to be Jason David Frank.
Okay.
I haven't seen Mighty Morphin in a hot minute. Like I did have a time where I was binge watching all of Power Rangers, and I think when I started with Mighty Morphin again, that was probably 2 years ago. So I barely remember these monsters. So when I was making this list, most of it was based off of aesthetic and concepts. Like Pumpkin Rapper, I like rapping. I like characters who could rap, and it was hilarious, at least in my eye, just to see them going up against a crazy zany monster like they do every week.
Yeah. No, okay, I'll let you have that then.
Yeah.
I went with Grumblebee.
Okay. Explain.
I went for quite logical ones. Like I went for some of them anyway. I sort of had a look through. I've got it open now. The page of all of Rita's monsters in season 1.
Same.
And yeah, I feel like Grumblebee just made sense. Like he did what it said on the tin. He looks the way he looks, and he battles the way it looks. It's logical that's what he's gonna do. Like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, yeah, that is superhuman strength, flight, venom, and sonic wing blast. I can be on top of that.
Ooh, lit, dope.
So yeah, that was my number 5 anyway.
I'll put my number 4, the Mighty Minotaur. Again, just purely aesthetic. I love everything mythology, especially Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Having a Minotaur as a monster you gotta beat. Come on now, that's just pure strength, pure bull strength, and
Yeah.
I love it.
And didn't he fight Zack?
It seems like that is the exact character to fight. Let me
Oh
double.
wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the Dark Knight one that fought him 1-on-1 and nearly destroyed the Power Axe.
Hey, don't touch my axe.
No, exactly.
Let me see. I'm looking. I'm deep into these pages. I'm balls deep. Mighty Minotaur. There we go. Yeah, he was just beaten by the Power Blaster. He's an early villain. Just got yeeted. Boom. But I like the design. He's cool. He looks like a bull in Spartan gear with a spiky shield and a mace.
Yeah, I got that. I went for Rhino Buster.
Oh, shout out to him.
So he was the one that came in. I hated the episode. It was the episode where the Power Rangers became a football team.
Oh,
Wait.
All right.
Not soccer.
Wait, hold on. Pause. Wait a minute. Was this just Rita's Monsters overall, or just for season 1?
No, this is just season 1.
Rhino Buster was in season 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of a. Go on. I'm thinking of a whole different series.
Right, so here's the thing, right? Because he wasn't only in season 1. I've cheated slightly. So he was in the episode Football Season in season 1, where he had like a group of 4 putty patrollers with big shoulder pads on, and they basically did this whole pushing thing, which really aggravated me. But whatever. But then he's also in Orchestral Maneuvers in the Park, which is a season 2 episode, which I think is when something about it was an illusion or something. I'm not 100% sure. But then he was also at Zed and Rita's wedding. And then get this, because he was also one of the monsters in Heir to the Throne, which is when Trakina takes over from what's his name, her father, whatever her father's name was. Scorpius. And he was one of the baddies in the pit in The Fate of Lightspeed, the last episode of Lightspeed Rescue.
Yep, I don't. So I'm looking at his design right now. I don't remember him.
Yeah, so he kept popping up in different episodes. So I cheated ever so slightly because he comes around quite a lot. But yeah, he was originally brought in season 1.
I do like. I don't know how. I think I like it. I like the idea of how Power Rangers essentially just recycles villains.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. By that point, they in the first few series of Mighty Morphin, they weren't going to have been making all that much money, so they were working to a budget. And then, as later on, when you've got to have a room full of monsters, use the ones you've already got. Like we see the Psycho Rangers quite a lot as well when they're in their monster form. The Psycho Rangers from In Space, their monster forms keep cropping up. So they were in Lightspeed Rescue. Where the red one in particular crops up a couple of times in Lightspeed Rescue because he's like a good demon-y shape.
Yep, I was just gonna mention that. Like the Psycho Red monster form was the demon in the beginning in Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah, and then the blue Psycho Ranger monster form was in the pit as well at the end, last episode. So yeah.
Shout out to Rhino Buster.
Yeah, cool monster.
Number 3, again, I vaguely remember King Sphinx.
Yeah.
I like the design. I think he's pretty cool, at least for a 90s monster. Some of these monsters do be looking trash, though. And speaking of trash, can we just... I'm going to put this on pause. Can we just say that the putties were horrible? I did not like the putties as...
So, are we paused?
Oh, no, not actually paused. I just mean, not actually paused. I'm just mean...
important information, Jay. Share it with the people.
I know. Hey, I'm letting them all know. The putties were horrible.
Yeah, I liked them when they got to the point where they had the Z's on their chest. I was like, yes, there is now a logical reason for them to be beaten. And I will admit that I quite liked Finster's machine. And the way that he sort of set them up in rows of 5 and then they went into the machine. I did quite like that. But no, I will admit that as foot soldiers go, they aren't the best.
I hated the design. I hated that. They sound like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for ranting. I just had to let the people know that
Let that one out.
the putties are hot doo-doo butter. But getting back to this,
King Things.
yeah, this King Things, I liked them. This yeah, aesthetic. I love things. Egypt, he got wings and he's a lion.
Yeah.
And he's a pharaoh. Shout out to being a pharaoh. And like I said, fuck Zach, Kimberly, and Jason. Put my man Zach got to shine.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Like that one. For what did I have next? I had Pine Octopus.
Yeah.
Now I don't actually like it as a monster. Like I'm not a fan of its shape or anything. And actually, I have a big issue with clowns. I'm not scared of them, but they make me feel sick. So I'm not big on clowns. But the reason I put it at number 3 was because it is the first monster I can remember seeing in Power Rangers. I back in day, my cousin, my mum's cousin, would he's about 11 years older than me, so I used to go and see my great aunt and my great uncle and my mum's cousin, and he'd sit and watch Power Rangers with me, and he only had the one on VHS, and it was the episode No Clowning Around.
Right.
So we used to watch that every time I went over, and that was my introduction to Power Rangers back in the day. So that's why he's my number 3, and because his powers makes no sense to his design. Like, he's a pineapple with stringy things on his head. Oh, and he turns people into cardboard. Okay, then.
Somebody was high when they made this.
Yes.
They were 100%. Like just mad high. A pineapple octopus that can turn people into cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my number 3.
Shout out to Japan for making crazy stuff. My number 2, and this is one I can actually talk about a little bit because I actually remember Pudgy Pig.
Yes.
Like, I think he's, as a villain, I think he's great. I liked his design. He just ate stuff. He would.
Yeah, he ate the power weapons, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So they couldn't even use the power weapons against him. So I loved his Roman helmet. He just went around eating stuff. Who does? I don't know. That just appeals to me. To just eat the stuff.
Yep. No, he did a good job. They did a good job on that one.
And I guess it was easy. It was just weird. And they used his own power against him by having him eat spicy food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a throw the weapons together and then make the Megazord. There was a bit of thinking involved, which I quite like when there was episodes like that.
Yep.
So for my number 2, I went for Terratoad.
Okay.
He ate the Power Rangers.
Oh, he did. Yep, he absolutely did.
So I'm already on board. I feel like he was, of the series, season 1, Mighty Morphin, he was the baddie that came closest to winning. And was kind of the reason I liked Kimberly so much, because she's the one that won with her power bow.
The power bow doesn't get that much respect. I like the power bow.
Yeah, I'm big on the bow. I completely forget as well that it's not the only time we have a bow.
It's not. Nope. But I would say of the power weapons, the power axe is my favorite, followed by the power lance. I put the power bow at number 3.
See, I like the sword. I like a good sword. I can sword fight. I went to martial arts for years to learn to sword fight.
Don't stab me, please. I just have katanas.
We'll come back to that.
One day.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we on to number 1?
We're on to number 1. Gotan.
Gotan. Love Gotan. Do you know what? For me, it was his sheer range of powers.
Mm-hmm.
So he had super strength, super jumping, weather control, energy string breath, eye lasers, twister breath. I think there's more.
It says he can create a blizzard, tornadoes, and hurricanes. Like that
and then he fights with a crossbow, ice hockey stick, tree log, and claws.
That's sick.
That's just like insane. Reflection, can reflect any projectile attack with a swipe of his claws. Extraordinary jumper, extraordinary leaper. What's the difference? Oh, distance and height. Say so.
Yeah. But the fact that he's a chimera, again, shout out.
Yeah.
Another callback to Greek mythology. that's the icing on the cake. We got a strong lion that just has a massive range of powers. That just seems like literally a walking storm.
Yeah, and yeah, I thought it was really cool.
He's like a furry Superman.
Very Superman. Apparently, I'm just reading the notes. Apparently, he was one of the only objects not to get turned back into the trophy that he was made out of after he was destroyed.
Yeah, it just says he was. Yep, he just destroyed. Oh, that must be sad. Bad time for whoever won that trophy.
Aye. So yeah, those were our top 5 picks for Rita's monsters.
Yeah.
I think she did quite well, personally, coming up with all these ideas. Well,
wasn't it? Yeah, it was Spencer's idea. She just said, "Make me a monster."
Yeah.
It just.
So I feel like this is a good time to do a little bit of a character breakdown on Rita Repulsa herself.
Yeah. Just for those who don't know, or it's been a hot minute since you've seen Mighty Morphin, we're just gonna go.
Yeah.
We're just gonna talk a little bit about Rita and just discuss about our favorite sorceress.
Yes. Shall I go first?
Go for it.
Go for it. So, she was a sorceress bent on conquering Earth in the name of Lord Zed. But 10,000 years ago, our lovely friend Zordon put her in a dumpster and sent her into space. Unfortunately, we as humans aren't particularly clever, and we find this dumpster on the moon and decide it's a good idea to open it.
What's this? Open it! We find a random dumpster. We're in space. There's no air. Open it.
So she opens it, destroys it, and decides to begin a new assault on Earth, where she's met by our 5 new heroes.
Teenagers with attitude.
Teenagers with attitude. And throughout the series, Rita and her lieutenants send various monsters against the Rangers. Did I miss anything?
She always has headaches, and she's she's surrounded by nobody. The only competent member of her team in the beginning in season 1 is Goldar, because he's actually the only one who's able to hold his own against the Rangers.
And Scorpina, or is she not coming until later?
And she'll come in. She comes in a little bit later, but even then, Goldar is the only one who lasts.
Yeah, I suppose. Although doesn't Scorpina just sort of disappear? We just stopped seeing her.
I thought she was destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She came monster size and ended up being destroyed.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, Rita just comes to Earth. I don't know if it's just purely based on. Well, we'll just get into that, because she came to Earth because she wanted to do the deed with Lord Zed, but Lord Zed comes in a little bit later, so Rita's just doing her thing. Like there is an aspect of revenge, because Zordon did trap her for 10,000 years, but there's a reason she was trapped for 10,000 years. She's evil. Like so she's basically just doing it just because. I don't think it's just purely to get back at Zordon. There's like, oh, a planet. Let me cause some destruction. Let me conquer it. And
yeah, she's evil, isn't she? Flat out.
Yep. I think that's another good writing for a villain. Just evil just because. There's no ulterior motive or no backstory behind it. She's just evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but I think she sort of she develops quite well throughout. I feel like whilst to begin with, you just be like, oh, okay, so she's here to break things because she's here to break things. As time goes by, she becomes quite a deep character.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
I'll say, because time and time again she got defeated, and by the time Lord Zed comes back, Zed had enough of her nonsense and her failures and puts her back into a dumpster.
Yes.
So, but she'll come back.
But
she
wins him over.
Yeah.
I think them getting married was brilliant.
Yeah, but there's a little trickery involved. She kind of gave him a love potion or a love spell.
But then didn't it wear off, and yet he married her anyway?
I don't think it wore off by the time they got married, but Goldar found out about what Rita did, but by that time Zed didn't care, because I think it probably did wear off, but Zed didn't care. Yeah. He actually grew to love Rita. And I think Rita grew to love Zed as well. So that's actually a happy ending for our 2 favorite villains. They actually did end up loving each other.
Do you reckon that's why at the end of In Space, Zed and Rita both got purified and became human?
That's actually
Because they were in love.
that's probably it. They actually had love in their hearts. But
They had a bit of
yeah,
humanity. So like, okay, so what was Divatox's humanity? Because she's the only one that became human. Because Mondo and Machina got turned to ash, didn't they?
yeah. I mean, Divatox was evil, but I don't think she was subjugated by Dark Spectre. If I like, I mean, she was a space pirate, and she was just she wasn't.
I suppose
like
there's other bits of humanity. So greed is a human thing as well. So maybe that's where her humanity came from.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, yep.
But Rita literally comes back again and again, like for decades after the series, because we see her again in Mystic Force.
Mystic Force.
8 years after In Space, when she comes back as Mystic Mother, and as far as I know, this is confirmed that she was Rita to begin with, and then she turned her magic for good.
I believe it is confirmed because if in the episode it's implied that she was Rita, but I think it has been confirmed by the creators or the producers. And I didn't even realize Mystic Mother was Rita when I first saw her. I had to do research when I saw that's Rita.
And she plays a big part as well, because obviously she's the entire Mystic Mother, whether she's Rita or not. Mystic Mother is the reason the Power Rangers are linked to the Morphin Grid. So without her, there would be no Power Rangers. And then she has a big fight with the Master, all on her little lonesome, which she loses. But
so are you saying Mystic Mother's the reason why the entire Power Rangers are linked to the Morphin Grid, or just the Mystic Force Rangers?
Just the Mystic Force Rangers.
Gotcha.
There would have been no Rangers in that series. But to be fair, if the Master had taken over the world because there were no Rangers to oppose him, then there wouldn't have been any more Rangers.
So shout out to Rita for turning good, or shout out to Zordon for blowing up and turning Rita good.
This is true.
But I kind of want to
still see her.
No, it was really nice. I want to know what happened to Zed, but it is.
Yeah, see, I've been looking for it, and there's little things like where he's mentioned. Doesn't he turn up at the end of whatever the most recent one was? What's the most recent series?
Beast Morphers.
Beast Morphers. Isn't he one of the baddies that's brought back? Goldar is.
I'm not sure. I haven't. I need to catch up on Beast Morphers. I only saw like the first 10-ish episodes because that's all I had on Netflix at the time. But the series is complete now, so I just need to go back and finish it. I don't remember. Zed might be in.
No, it wasn't. It was Goldar. Sorry.
Oh, Goldar.
But we do have a bit of their legacy even later on, because Zed and Rita, well, at some point, as married couples do, they must have done it.
They did the deed.
They did the deed, because in Operation Overdrive we have Thrax come around. I loved Thrax as a character, because it was a whole vendetta, wasn't it? That because he was like, my parents turned good, but I'm not.
Possibly again. I said this in the last episode. Operation Overdrive was not memorable to me, and I don't remember Thrax as well. So that's something I got to go back and check. That's probably
from
it.
What I've read up on, so he turns up and he's got half of his face is covered by the mask, the same mask as Lord Zed.
I do remember that.
And he's got Lord Zed's staff.
Yep, I do know. I remember that.
And there's this whole line about him being out to show the world how evil his family could be.
Oh, I forgot how ugly he was. Oh God.
Yeah, he's a bit weird looking, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm looking at him now like, oh Lord.
Have mercy on our souls. Yeah.
I was gonna say. Oh, yeah. Also, there was something that it's also implied that Rita was pregnant at the end of In Space. So.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So.
Because he wouldn't have been purified from the inside.
That would have been interesting if you. That would have been interesting. So. So the womb has protective powers against good. Or against good explosions. Or he was conceived evil, so he was just born evil.
Apparently he's in Power Rangers Hyperforce. I don't know what that is.
He was in Hyper... Hyperforce. I think that's the Sentai thing for right now. Cause I've seen what it looked like, but I don't think it's a Power Rangers thing yet. Cause Dino
Oh, it's
Furies.
a tabletop RPG.
Oh, yo,
launched
that is that.
last
Okay, never
month.
mind. Ignore everything I just said.
You're talking nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you.
I'm always talking nonsense. But speaking of nonsense, Rita has her own set of nonsensical gimmicks that she comes up with.
She does indeed. Which one
Yeah.
do you like the best?
I have a headache.
Yeah, can't beat it. I personally like Magic Wand, make my monster
Growl. Hey,
Oh, and that stupid bicycle.
uh,
She comes in on the flying bicycle.
she was based on the Wicked Witch to the West, so it had to happen.
How does what do you think? So that magic wand thing,
Mm-hmm.
making the monsters grow. How does that compare to other series? You think?
It's a nice start. Cause other series they either have most of them they either have some sort of machine responsible
Yeah, it's
for
like a
making them
beam or
grow,
something, isn't it?
or they have some, or they get reborn as a second monster. Once they die in one form, their second form is a giant monster that obviously just needed for the Megazord.
Yeah.
When I was first, but when I was first watching it, I was like, do they have to do this every time? But I was like, that as I got older, I was like, yes, they do.
To get big, they have to do that.
It's,
Yeah, I like things like I think I compare it to is it Impus? No, not Impus. What's his name? In Rescue.
and
Black one.
the Jest, and I know
Oh yeah, it might be Jester. Is it Jester?
Jester might be. Let me. I'm looking at it right now. I know who you're talking about because Impus is the baby. His name is Jinxer.
Jinxer. I like when I would say that Rita's is a similar sort of thing to Jinx's throwing of the card and then a spell, and Toxica as well with her evil spirits of toil and strife. So I quite like the magic ones.
I
I
love
like the magic
Toxica.
ones more than the tech ones.
Yeah, the magic one that makes in a fantasy setting that makes more sense to me.
Although the only one I would say that tech is better is Mondo Machina. What's his name? Around and away we go.
Around and away to be go.
Love a bit of Scottish.
I wonder why he was Scottish in a bit. It was like, oh, that's interesting. I like
What's his
it.
name? Find out because it's going to annoy me otherwise.
His name is
Clank and Orbis.
Or I loved Orbis. I loved him the most because he was always he always has something sassy to say. Round and away to go.
I like. Oh, I'm going to get distracted by In Space, so we might need to come off that.
All right, so
Let's get away from that one.
Hey, we were talking about allies, so
we were. Which one do you like best of her?
Of Goldar, Finster, Scorpina, or Squat and Babu. You know, I'm just gonna go in order. Squat and Babu, they're like an evil Vulcan skull.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. I was like, I think actually that's probably. Yeah.
They're literally just an evil Vulcan skull.
An evil Vulcan skull. Yeah.
Scorpina, she was okay. She held her own while she was there, but she didn't. As far as impact, she didn't really leave much.
Yeah. So I was just looking up about how she left the series.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that she. Whilst I'm just getting back to that page, I liked how she was she was like Goldar's opposite.
Yeah.
So like the pair of them together were quite good together.
Yeah, and she was competent for
Yeah.
while she was around, but obviously being a villain, she got defeated. But
so I'm just looking here. It said that although she said she'd be back, Scorpions were never seen again. She was replaced by Rita Repulsa in season 3. So she she was assisting in one of Lord Zed's attempts to neutralize Adam, posing as a human girl named Sabrina, and though she succeeded in capturing Adam and Aisha, the rest of the Rangers quickly discovered her, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so she just sort of disappeared, and then she wasn't accounted for Zordon's energy wave.
Mm-hmm.
So it was possible that she was purified. but we don't know.
Yeah, I'm just reading right here. Scorpiona's final fate after a countdown to destruction, which is end of in space, is unknown. So I'm guessing it's probably just assumed that she probably got destroyed or purified, and we just haven't seen her.
Again, this hyperforce thing, which I don't know how like canon that is. I don't know.
Probably have to do more research on that.
Yeah, but it says that she was in that for a while. That she was disgruntled about taking orders from Zed and Rita, and wanted a chance to destroy the Rangers herself. And one day she was approached by the leader of the Alliance, wherever that is, and offered her a chance of power and would dispose of the Rangers personally for her.
Yeah.
But because she had pride as a warrior, she wouldn't do it. Apparently, I don't know.
And they're fine. Yeah. I think she was cool.
I think she was a really cool character, and I was not particularly impressed when she just disappeared. Like,
yeah, it would have been nice for her to have a.
I liked that she had a different form when she grew as well.
Like
human girl, and then suddenly this enormous scorpion thing.
Cool. Shout out to Japan. I'm gonna say it a lot.
Very Psycho Ranger-esque.
Psycho Rangers.
Maybe that's what she is. Maybe she's a Psycho Ranger.
Dung 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 dung. Theory.
Cool. What about Finster? What do you think of Finster?
Finster had a little bit of sass to him, especially when he was talking to Zed. He was like, "I take orders from no one but Rita." Yes, Miss. Oh, he wasn't talking to Zed. It was Rita or someone. Someone other than Zed or Rita. But
yeah,
Finster's cool. He did what he did. He was loyal, which is what you need in your life, whether you're good or evil. You need that loyalty. And he was the brains behind the operation.
Yeah, without him there wouldn't have been any monsters.
Yep, you just.
And then, last but not least, Goldar. I feel like he's our archetype for every middling baddie.
Yeah, Goldar. He when he first introduced, he was this competent, like, very well trained warrior. He held his own, and even at times beat Jason. And so it was nice to see a villain who's able to push the Rangers back and make them better.
Yeah,
I liked Goldar better I liked his design better in the movie, in Ivan Ooze movie. Cause I don't know, he's a little bit too ape-like in the series.
And they paired him up with that pig thing, and I was a bit like,
I was wondering if that was just the movie. I never saw him in the series. So yes, I confirmed that he was just movie.
We don't ever see him ever again.
And I was wondering.
I can't even remember his name.
Me neither. I don't remember that they gave him a name.
Who knows?
But yeah, Goldar is pretty cool. He had a dope sword, flame sword, and he's what you need. He's what you need in a lieutenant. Of course, he became a bumbling idiot as the time goes on. But in the beginning, he held his own as a warrior, ready for the forces of evil.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about how he completely forgets everything in Zeo, but we'll get to that when we get to Zeo. Let's not ruin that, eh?
Yeah. But right now, we got an arc to cover.
We have, and we're actually at the 30-minute mark, so we need to get a shift on. But we're not going to go as over as we did last time. So
no. This is essentially the last thing we need to go over, but
indeed,
we still want to do it justice.
We do, because it is the first. I feel it's the first recognizable arc.
Yep.
And of course, it is Green with Evil.
Green with Evil. Bum 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 bum.
I loved this arc. Like, it's such a cool idea. Do you want to give a bit of an overview for anyone who either doesn't remember or? Yeah,
let's do it. So, here's how basically it went down. Rita got all tired and huffy that she wasn't able to and beat the Rangers. She had a headache all those times. She wasn't able to beat them Rangers. But she decided, why don't I fight fire with fire? So, y'all thought that Zordon was the only one with power coins? Nah, Rita has her own power coin, the green power coin. So she decides she's gonna defeat the Rangers by making her own Power Ranger. So she goes down to the new kid in Angel Grove. Who is this new kid, you may ask? Tommy Oliver. She places a spell on the new kid, Tommy Oliver, who is also a skilled martial artist. A martial artist who rivals even Jason. And she decides he is going to be her new minion. So Tommy Oliver becomes the Green Ranger and goes ham on the other Rangers. Basically just destroying the morale and just split them against it. Like, there's a new Ranger. How we go against him? He should be one of us. We shouldn't be doing. And it's just a giant mess. He has access to the Dragon Zord, which can rival even their own Megazord, which didn't really make sense to me. One Zord can beat 5 combined Zords. It is what it is. But because of this, and because he also has a power coin, he can get into the command center. And what did he do in that command center? He wrecked house. I remember that scene vividly. Yep. He was just going in and ripping cables, just destroying just cause that evil laugh. That's why Tommy's better as a Green Ranger, but I digress. Because of his destruction, he severed their connection to Zordon. So they had to figure out what to do without Zordon's guidance. And of course, Jason, being the leader that he is, he decided it's up to him to get Tommy on their side. But to do that, they have to destroy the Sword of Darkness. But that's done. And at the end of this 5-episode arc, Tommy joined the cast as the Pink Ranger. Dragon Zord!
As the Pink Ranger.
As that pink?
Yeah. And Tommy is the new Pink Ranger. No, he's not, Jay. That's not how that works.
Yeah, he's the Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger. Our Green Ranger.
Yes, he's the Green Ranger. He joined the team as the Green Ranger.
Okay. What did you think? Because I really liked it. I like the idea of an evil ranger.
Yeah, evil rangers are dope. That's why. And last time we mentioned we loved the Psycho Rangers, yes. And there were other evil rangers as well that came in later series that later became good. But yeah, I like that idea. I like the episode of the arc itself having continuity instead of just being episodic. Just having a formulated episode. You have five straight progressive episodes that have a linear story, and that's my main reason for liking it. Tommy as an evil ranger, I want to say I liked him better as an evil ranger. Like I said, I liked him better as green. I thought personally, I just liked his performance better green than in white. And seeing the Dragon Zord for the first time, him playing that flute, even though I don't know how that happened. How do you make a flute? How do you make a dagger flute with no mouth hole?
I mean, you can make instruments out of anything, dude.
I mean, sure, you could. I mean, not the instrument itself. My thing is, he just put it over where his mouth's supposed to be. There's no holes coming out of that. That defeats the purpose of it.
That's true. Yeah. I did hate the tune.
You didn't like it? I liked it. I loved it.
I liked it to begin with, but it never changed.
Oh yeah, it didn't. I did the Pokemon theme song.
You did. I was gonna.
It's similar.
Oh, nice.
It's similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall the arc is good. I liked, especially when Tommy was evil, him talking to Kimberly bad like that. I liked it. He's like, Kimberly was all shocked.
We know you're the Green Ranger. Well, Pink Ranger.
Well, Pink Ranger.
Yeah, no, I did like it, and I do. And like you said, that we've had lots of bad Rangers throughout, but obviously this was the first one, and I think that
this is the first one. Honestly, the best execution of an evil Ranger.
Yeah. Do you think that they? Because like you said, it was 5 episodes. Do you think that was enough, or do you think the story could have gone further?
I think 5 episodes was good enough. I think if they dragged it out a little bit longer, it would have been hard to believe the performance.
Yeah. I do feel like they could have made a bigger deal of how much time that was meant to be. So keep it the 5 episodes, but is each episode a day? Is it a few hours? Is it a
Yeah,
month? What is it? I
yeah.
feel like they did that a bit more. But then you've got the big plot hole. Like, okay, so what are these kids' parents doing?
Man, we don't care about these
So,
kids' parents.
Parents, whatever.
This is a kid show. We don't care about parents.
Because potentially he went missing for months at a time. How do we know? So I feel
Potentially,
like they
yeah.
could have been a bit clearer on how long that was supposed to be. Because I feel like if it was a couple of days, that's not really long enough for a story arc like that. Whereas if it was like 2 or 3 weeks, that would have been a good amount of time.
Hmm.
You know, they're really scared, because that was my big issue with it. Was why were 5 rangers beaten by 1 ranger when he joined the team? It's whilst he's still the best, it's not as clear that he's the best. It's not as big a deal. Like, they're all kind of catching up to him, and I'm a bit like, why would he be the best? So I feel like they could have explained, oh, he's been given more power by Rita, and that's why he's stronger. Or the whole morale thing, is that why he was able to beat them so many times? Because
Probably
actually they didn't want to beat him, or what?
there are probably different factors. Like probably one, they didn't. There's that hero's conundrum. They don't want to fight their friend, so possibly they were holding back. That's a possibility. Also, after I guess the Sword of Darkness was defeated, there's also that candle that was the source of his Green Ranger powers. So and that was going out. So while he was a Green Ranger, he was also progressively getting weaker.
Yeah.
But when he came back as the White Ranger, it still didn't seem like he was as. It was told the White Ranger power was stronger than the Green Ranger, but it didn't seem like he vastly outclassed the other Rangers.
Yeah.
So there's probably different factors into play as to why Tommy.
I just feel like they could have explained that a bit.
Yeah.
I would have been happier if they'd explained that a bit. But then, it was the 90s.
Shout out to the 90s.
Shout out to the 90s. Yeah.
I think.
But no, I think it's a good arc. I'd be interested to see what other people think. So if you've got an opinion, tell us what it is.
Please, we would love to know what you guys think. Not only about Green with Evil, but what you thought about Rita, her allies. What's your favorite part of her? What did we miss anything? And just your favorite monsters for her. And And in the next episode, we're gonna still in season 1, but we're gonna cover a few what ifs. Like we mentioned last week, if you had a few what if scenarios, let them fly our way, and if we have some, we'll cover them. But we also have a few scenarios of our own that we would go over as well. So next week is going to be a bit of fan service for us.
Yes, I'm particularly excited about our crossover idea, which I won't say what it is yet.
Yeah, we're going to keep it a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I think that's it.
That's it. If you enjoyed this episode, you already know what to do. Especially if you're on YouTube, let us know. And again, this is going to be across most podcast platforms. If it's on iTunes, it'll be there, but it'll definitely be on Spotify and Google Play. So appreciate everybody for coming in this week. We kept it to 43 minutes, not 30, but a lot lower than an hour.
A lot lower than last week. We're gonna keep cutting it down until we get to the time we want to get it to.
Nah, let's just keep on going. Let's at least just try to keep it under an hour and close.
Yes, we're in our flow. That's the thing.
Yeah. That's what I like. That's what I like about it. Just keep it organic. We're organized here, but still keep it organic. Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.